I stood at my property gate, staring at 96 houses where my forest used to be. The HOA president looked me dead in the eye and said, "People like you don't win against people like us." She had no idea she'd just built an entire neighborhood on land I owned. And she was about to find out the hard way. My name's Dakota Flint. I inherited 47 acres of Colorado forest from my grandfather, worth about $4 million. William Flint bought that land in 1971 for $8,200 cash. Depression-era guy who kept every receipt in leather ledgers. When he died in 2019, he left me one note. "Don't let the bastards take what's yours." I didn't visit for 3 years. Divorce, kids in college, 70-hour work weeks. But I paid property taxes every April. $6,400, never late. I had the receipts. August 2022, I drove up to scatter Grandpa's ashes. Turned off Highway 36. And my stomach dropped. The forest was gone. 96 Mediterranean stucco houses with fake balconies. A sign read Ridgeline Heights, a Whitmore luxury community. I checked my GPS 4 times. Same coordinates. This was my land. At the gatehouse, a security guard stopped me. "Residences only. I own this property." He smirked. "Sure, buddy. Turn around." A white Range Rover pulled up. Out stepped Cassandra Whitmore. Mid-50s, Botoxed, wearing white linen that cost more than my truck. "If you're looking for construction work, most crews are filled," she said, not even looking at me. "I'm the legal owner. My grandfather, William Flint. Our title company ran a forensic search. This land was abandoned for 3 years. Under Colorado adverse possession statute. Means nothing if property taxes were paid," I interrupted. Her smile went sharp. She handed me a business card. "Our attorney will explain why your claim is frivolous." "How many houses are sold?" "All 96. 16 million. Families moving in by Thanksgiving." Then she pulled out her phone, snapped my license plate. "In case you vandalize anything." She leaned closer. "People like you don't win against people like us." That night, I spread Grandpa's documents across my table. The 1971 deed. 47 annual tax receipts. Survey maps. Monday her attorney called. Offered me $15,000 to sign a quitclaim deed and disappear. 15 grand for 4 million in land. "I'll see you in court," I said. I needed a real lawyer. Got one name. Lydia Chin. She'd beaten a railroad company so badly they'd offered her a job just to make her stop. I showed her everything. She looked at my tax receipts and smiled. Colorado adverse possession requires 18 years and the squatter has to pay property taxes. If you've been paying, their claim is dead. So I stopped construction? Here's what I'd do instead. Let them finish building. I stared at her. If you stop now, they declare bankruptcy. 3-year litigation nightmare. But if you let them finish, then file, you own 96 completed houses. They'll be desperate to settle because the alternative is prison. How much? $40,000 in legal fees. When we win, court awards damages and attorney fees. I had $12,000 in savings. I'll figure it out. September bled into October. I drove past twice a week, documenting everything with my phone. Cassandra spotted me. Called the sheriff. Deputy Torres showed up. "Mrs. Whitmore says you've been harassing her." "I'm on a public road documenting construction on property I own. If there's a property dispute, that's civil court. But if she calls again, I'll have to take action." Translation: she donates to the sheriff. You don't. By November, families were moving in. I watched a couple carry a crib into House 43. These weren't villains. They were people who'd saved for the American dream. I spent 2 weeks digging up everything on Cassandra Whitmore. Turns out her husband Preston owned Ridgeline Capital. He'd been sued twice for construction defects and once for fraud. This was a family business. Boulder County permits showed they'd filed an adverse possession claim in March 2022, then immediately started selling lots. But you can't do that. You have to prove it in court first, get a judgment, then record it. They'd skip that step. That's fraud. December 3rd, code enforcement called. Someone reported illegal dumping on my property. I drove up. The inspector walked the property and shook his head. "There's nothing here." False report filed through Mrs. Whitmore's office. Off the record, he told me, "I've inspected 6 Whitmore projects. Every single one had complaints filed against neighboring landowners. It's a pattern." By Christmas I had a court date. January 12th. January 4th, my daughter texted. Dad, someone posted on Facebook you're harassing families. Cassandra had posted claiming I was stalking the neighborhood, taking photos of children. The comments called me a predator. 847 shares. The next morning my boss put me on paid leave. January 7th, someone spray-painted pervert on my garage. January 9th, my daughter called crying. Someone sent her the Facebook post. I drove to her apartment and showed her everything. Grandpa's deed, the tax receipts, Lydia's filings. So she's lying about everything. Everything. Then we fight back. January 12th, Boulder County Courthouse. Cassandra sat with her attorney looking relaxed, confident. Judge Angela Ramirez entered. Zero patience in her expression. The attorney stood. The plaintiff's claim is defective. We hold clear title via adverse possession. Did he pay property taxes? The judge interrupted. Well, yes, but... Then adverse possession fails. What else? Lydia stood. We're here because the defendants knowingly committed fraud. She opened her briefcase. I'd like to submit an internal email from Preston Whitmore dated February 18, 2022. The judge read it. Her eyebrows went up. Lydia slid me a copy. My heart started pounding. From Preston Whitmore. Subject: Property Risk Assessment. The Flint parcel is not abandoned. Owner has been paying property taxes continuously. Adverse possession claim won't hold up. However, if we move fast, start selling before anyone notices, we create chaos. Flint either settles cheap or gets buried in litigation costs. We've done this before. Risk medium. Reward $16 million. They'd known from the beginning. This proves intentional fraud, Lydia said. They knew Mr. Flint owned the property. They proceeded anyway. Judge Ramirez looked at Preston and Cassandra. Is this email authentic? Silence. Motion to dismiss is denied. This case is proceeding to trial. I'm issuing a temporary restraining order. No more sales pending resolution. She looked at Cassandra. And if I see one more Facebook post or threat, I will hold you in contempt. Cassandra's face went ashen. For the first time in 4 months I could breathe. Lydia's strategy was brilliant. Depose everyone. Someone always cracks. Preston's deposition was January 18th. Lydia asked 50 questions. By noon he was sweating, contradicting himself 4 times. 2 days later, escalation. My son Tyler called. Dad, a private investigator came to the restaurant asking if you'd ever been violent. It's witness tampering, Lydia said. A felony. January 23rd, the IRS sent an audit notice. Pure harassment. January 25th, someone leaked all 96 sales contracts to a blog. Developer sold homes on stolen property. Buyers may lose everything. A woman named Sarah Chin called crying. What happens if you win? Do we get evicted? No. You'll own your home. The developer will pay. I did a Channel 9 interview. The segment aired February 2nd. 3 million views in 12 hours. February 4th, I came home to find my door ajar. On my kitchen table, a note. Drop it or lose everything. My neighbor had seen a black Audi. Got the plate. It was the PI who'd harassed Tyler. February 9th. Trial day. Courtroom packed. 40 families showed up. Lydia's opening was thunder. This is about theft. They knew Dakota Flint was the legal owner. They built anyway because they calculated most people can't afford to fight. But they picked the wrong victim. The trial lasted 7 hours. The title company rep admitted taking a bribe. Preston took the stand. Lydia destroyed him in 40 minutes. Cassandra refused to testify. Fifth Amendment. In the hallway after, the homeowners mobbed me. What happens to us? You keep your homes, I said. Every single one. The Whitmores committed fraud, not you. 40 people started applauding. The next morning, Judge Ramirez's ruling. The defendants engaged in calculated, systematic fraud. Such conduct is reprehensible. I won. Full title to 47 acres including 96 houses. $4.2 million in damages. Cassandra took a plea deal. 3 years probation, $500,000 restitution, lifetime ban from Colorado real estate. Preston was indicted on 6 federal fraud charges. But what about 96 families? I called a town hall. March 15th. I know you're scared. You did nothing wrong. I'm transferring ownership to the Ridgeline Heights Community Trust. Each family owns their home at the price you originally paid. No mortgages, no interest. Sarah Chin started crying. 40 people applauded. The trust will maintain roads and establish a scholarship. My grandfather believed land was about legacy, not profit. The William Flint Memorial Scholarship launched in September. $10,000 annually for students studying engineering or environmental science. I kept 5 acres. Built a small cabin. Wake up to pine and coffee every morning. Last week, Sarah Chen's daughter drew me a picture. A crayon house with a stick figure labeled Mr. Dakota. It's on my fridge. I think about Grandpa's note. Don't let the bastards take what's yours. But what's mine isn't just land. It's knowing 96 families sleep safely because I didn't quit. It's justice. The real kind. Drop your HOA story in the comments. And remember, keep your receipts. All of them.